My pleasure, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No. Well, yeah.
Oh, ladies can sit down.
Sorry, go take a look. Oh, there's crazy.
We could probably use
Funky looking.
You have it all set up how you want it? Huh?
You have it set up how you want it.
Yeah.
I want to introduce Doug Corpine. Doug is the manager of our test facility here. He does a fantastic job. Doug, you've been down here for about 3 years.
3 years. Yep, a little over 3 years.
And has been here since we really formalized the relationship that we have with the track. We've been testing equipment down here in Sebring as a company for
About 25 years.
about 25 years. But we did a lot of it informally. You know, we would provide equipment to the guys here in the shop, and they would do their own equipment. They would do their own maintenance of all the property. As you can see, there's, I believe, 600 acres.
The track is about 350 to 400. We have about 1,000 acres with all the different places that
We go way beyond just the track. But as you can see, I mean, there's pretty much grass as far as the eye can see. We maintain all of it. So. But prior to having Doug come down and manage the facility, it was really kind of we give the track equipment, they'd run the equipment, but the problem was we never really had good test data back. And as a company that designs and manufactures equipment, that test data, the performance data, is critical. We got to know what works, and more importantly, what doesn't work. So working with Josh Wilson, who's our Senior Director of Engineering, Josh hired Doug about 3 years ago and took over the shop. Well, we're starting here because this is a nice room and you got a nice view of the track, but we'll take you over to the shop after we do this. Yeah, the story I've heard is Doug, you and Josh basically went in there and power washed the whole building, painted everything, and turned it into a real shop. Entire machine that we create in CAD. And in CAD, you can actually do stress analysis, right? You can put a load on the machine, you can put a load on the frame and on the deck. So you understand in a computer how it works. That's the first step. And that's really the most expensive part because that's where you're doing all the detailed design. The second step is the design validation, as Doug mentioned. So we take that same design in a computer and we put instruments on the entire frame and we see, okay, once you put it out, once you actually build it and put it into a working environment, does it do the same thing that it did in the computer? 98% of the time, it's exactly what you did in the computer. Every once in a while, things don't match, but the validation is, okay, we've got a design that we like in a computer. Now when we go to a production intent, does it work? And that's really the work that we do down here.
Yep. We're able to give that information and say that it's being tested, as Nick said, through 2 different cycles, all those hundreds, if not thousands of hours that go through, but it's being used the way in a parallel fashion to what you do day in and day out. It's being trailered, it's being hooked up, it's coming on and off the trailer, it's popping curbs, it's going down ditches, it's coming up ditches, it's in sandy situations, it's short grass, it's tall grass. It's, at the end of the day, we have great confidence when we work with landscapers like yourself to say, we're giving you a unit used the way we feel that you're going to use a unit. And probably, in most cases, harder. And at the end of the day, if we can give that to you, still going to have opportunities, right? Still going to have issues you need to address, but we give you something that's going to be comfortable. It's going to allow, whether it's you as an owner-operator or someone on your crew, to be where we minimize worker comp issues, we minimize operator fatigue. We have an issue that's easy to work on. It's rugged and durable, you know, to get you through. So it's coming from the more the development side, sales side. It's a huge piece of what Doug and his team do here. It's easy for us to stand up in front of a landscaper and say, hey, we put it through the grinder, and it's going to work the way that you want it to work.
All right, next to us here is what we're calling our ProTurn Z. It is a new entry-level commercial product that we released. It actually came available for dealers to order March 1st. Is it today?
It's already being ordered.
Yeah, today. Actually came available to order today. So what it is, it's based off of our HD design, but we've upgraded the machine to come standard with ROPS, seat isolator, and then we've also, this is our first adventure into a Gravely branded engine. So we now have the Gravely branded engine. This is a commercial product, comes standard with a 2-year commercial warranty, as well as it is available for fleet and bid as well. So this can be purchased on a fleet and then of course under the bid cycle as well, making it available for the entry-level landscaper or even anybody. It's a great machine. Will come in 52 and 60-inch versions at this point in time. So it comes with Gravely branded 24 horsepower or 23.5 horsepower engines, 3100 hydro gear transmissions.
So now we're looking at all the equipment that they got here. They kind of broke everything out so we could take a look at it. Now we're kind of dividing up in some small groups, looking at some of the equipment. They got the Atlas here, all the Pro Turn series. They just launched a new entry-level zero turn, part of the zero turns that they have. They got the 260s and the 460s over here. You got the 160s over here, and the Pro Turn 52. Got the Pro Stances back here, and the Atlases are driving around. And pretty soon, a little bit, we're actually gonna get to drive some of the stuff and see how it runs for some of these guys that have never even been on a Gravely, so it'll be a good experience for them. And they can actually see kind of what they're missing out on some of the stuff of a great company and some of the great products that they make. We got the mower man over here using his drone that he can't call a drone, I guess. It's a GoPro. Yeah, man. This is a pretty cool event, though. I mean, I've never been to anything like this before. It's kind of an honor to be here for something like this and get to meet some pretty awesome people that you don't get to see behind the camera. Yep, like David. So check out this Crew Cab Atlas JSV 6000. This thing is pretty sweet. I like it. It fits 6 guys in here. I'm pretty sure they said you can fit a full pallet in the back of this thing. And it's rated for towing too, so you can tow, a trailer, you can tow whatever you need to behind it. It's a fantastic machine. Personally, I don't have a use for it, but it's one of those things that I think would be really fun to drive around, and it would just be helpful on big things, big jobs and stuff. If you're, I know I've even seen some kids that don't even have their license. Lucky Landscaping, for an example, before he got his truck, he bought one of these because it was legally he could drive it around his neighborhood with his trailer and everything. Whereas a truck, you have to have your license. And I'm not saying to do that, but you have to check your local area and stuff for your DOT regulations and stuff like that. But it's one of those things that it's a possibility and helps people, not only kids, but a lot of adults and landscape companies in the area with bigger properties and driving and hauling people and materials around job sites. It's a great vehicle all around. Pretty cool. Look who showed up here. You got Dan Ariens Company over there. It's gonna be really cool getting to meet him again in person. Just a fantastic guy, super nice, down to earth, kind of guys you want to be around.
Our chairman and CEO, 4th generation of the Ariens family. Also Nick and Stephen's father. And we also have Julie Ariens, Dan's wife. So very fortunate that Dan and Julie were able to join us today and welcome you all down here to Sebring.
Will be good.
Yes, definition of grumpy old man. He goes on that chair. several $100,000. And these are guys and gals that just race for the fun of it. If they wreck on a weekend, they take it home, they rebuild it, and they start again. Right? So it's all part of the fun. I did. Doug, what's a good lap time?
Well, we didn't make it back, but we're at 1.
Just got back from going around the track on the bus. That was a pretty cool experience, actually getting to go with all the great guys on this track that's right next to their testing facility here in Sebring, Florida. They do extensive testing on other products that are used in the lawn care landscaping industry. Things that you guys see at your dealers and everything. Gets tested for thousands and thousands of hours before it gets actually put into production, and all the parts that actually get used on it.